Welcome back to the Hyper Coffee Wife podcast. This is your host, Emma, and my co-host, Luke.
Hello.
We are very excited you are joining us tonight. We are here with our lattes. What kind of lattes do we have tonight, Luke?
We have the kind that's made with espresso and milk and chocolate.
That is delicious. It is a mocha latte. It is my favorite. We're having hot ones tonight. Oh my goodness. Luke, you're really good at making lattes.
Yes,
All right.
I am.
Yes, you are. He likes to pat his own back. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking to you guys about the assumptions about us. We found, I guess, the 8 best assumptions about us. Now, these assumptions are ones that everybody is continuously saying over and over.
Yeah, so these aren't just like random comments you get. It's like every video, every interaction, every live, we're getting the same assumptions over and over again. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well, let's jump right into it then. I do want to thank everybody for following along and all of your views and your participation in the lives. We've been having a blast with this over the past few weeks. And believe it or not, Lucas is the one that likes doing the lives on TikTok the best. He lives for them.
Okay, so let's jump right into it with assumptions about us.
All right. So, assumption number 1 is that Lucas is cheating on Emma. I feel like this is one that you better address, mister.
What's to address? I'm not. But yeah, everybody keeps making the same assumption.
Why do you think people are making that assumption?
That's the puzzling part. I have no idea why.
No idea.
People think that I somehow have a better secret life that yet I'm still hanging around here. So it's puzzling.
I think that everybody assumes that, like, for some reason, everybody decided that I'm just, like, gross and, like, undesirable, and that you are the opposite. So we're very unevenly matched.
All right, so everybody's viewing Emma as the villain, so I'm the hero by default, regardless of the evidence.
Don't you think you're a hero, Luke?
Not really.
No?
No.
That's not how you act. Okay, moving on. So, Luke is not cheating on Emma. All right. Assumption debunked. Assumption number 2 kind of feeds right into it is that Luke needs to be rescued/freed from this relationship, I am assuming.
I keep hearing that a lot too. Again, I don't know why.
Well, I feel like you need to address this one though, because again, like, I can say all day that he doesn't need to be freed, but I'm the one that they think you need to be freed from, so that's not going to do much good.
Guys, I don't need to be freed. I will take your donations, but no, I don't need to be freed.
I know, right? I thought it would be so funny to set up a GoFundMe page for all the people that want to free Luke. If you raised $1 million to be freed, would you free yourself from me? For $1 million. $1 million.
$1 million.
You're hesitating. What's the answer?
That's a lot of money.
So you would leave me for $1 million?
No. But I'm trying to figure out if I could fake it and somehow be able to keep the $1 million.
So you would fake leave me for $1 million?
Yes.
Would you at least share the money with me?
Well, that would be the entire point.
Oh, okay. So I get a better life too.
Right. Yeah, you'd get at least like 30%.
Which feeds into the next question. Well, assumption. The next assumption is that we live in a mansion with free Wi-Fi.
We live in a trailer with no Wi-Fi.
True story. We use, for Wi-Fi, we use the hotspot on my phone because I get like 100 gigs of data for like hotspot. So Luke
for like
uses
$1
it.
gig, yes.
Luke uses it. I use it for my computer. We use it for any videos we want to watch. But we went through a lot of it because we were sick this past month. So we streamed a lot of videos and we ran out of internet. So we are literally living with zero internet. Yeah, we definitely don't get the free Wi-Fi. I wish, though.
And it's definitely not a mansion. Just
Hey,
saying.
you know what? This is better than, like, a cardboard box.
This place is better than a couple pallets and a blue tarp. But that's about it.
It's 4 walls and it's warm. Yes, like, would we like better? Of course we would. But we're being provided for right now. And that's what really truly matters. And you know what? For whatever reason, our kids freaking love this house. I don't think they'll ever want to give it up. Our oldest daughter refers to this as her house, and she gets so excited about it.
We can park it out back at the mansion.
Yeah, she can use it as her clubhouse, right? All right. Assumption number 4. I'm Lucas's third at. That Lucas married his third at.
That segues right into the free mansion and Wi-Fi.
How?
It's been 2 months and you still haven't shown the connection?
What?
Alright, so the story goes that I'm walking along the beach and I trip on a object in the sand and I dig it out and it's a lamp. And you rub the lamp and a genie pops out. And the genie's like, alright, you can have one wish, but there's like 2, I don't know, it's like an whole apples and apples thing. So I don't actually know the whole backstory, but the general premise is that I can have a mansion with free Wi-Fi, but in order to have that, I have to go onto social media and type in the at, and the third one to pop up is who I have to marry.
Well, is that what happened?
No.
Oh, okay. So, how did you get to marry me, since everybody thinks I must be one of your ats or something? Like, I thought I was your 7th at, but apparently I wasn't even that.
I don't even have 3 ads.
You don't even use social media.
Right.
Except for TikTok, you do use that. So how did you get to marry me, if it wasn't, like, because I was your at?
Well, first, TikTok isn't social media. That's like a dancing app, isn't it?
No, it's like social media now. It's the new social media. It used to be different, you know? But, again, can we get back to the question?
What is the question?
How did you get to marry me if I wasn't your at? Or how did I coerce you into marrying me?
You didn't. It's that simple.
Well, tell everybody.
Okay. Story starts to get repetitious. We tell it like multiple times
No, you
every
know what?
live.
I tell a story all the time. You don't. I want to hear you tell the story. Briefly, of course.
Okay. So, we met through mutual friends. Emma had a event she was going to go to, and she was being ghosted at the time. And it sounded intriguing. So when the opportunity arose, and the mutual friend, and she was like, I need a date. And the mutual friends were all like, well, Luke would be interested. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. Of course, Emma didn't believe it, and she still doesn't to this day. But anyway.
What, that you wanted to go with me?
Yeah, that I wanted to go. It sounded interesting and fun, and I wasn't coerced into the situation. So that's how we met.
Okay, but what about how we got married?
Oh, is that where we were going with this?
Yeah.
So then we fell in love and got married.
Did we fall in love? That's
After
not
we got
important right now.
married.
Yeah. How did we get married?
It was a small wedding.
Was it? Is that what you call small?
Yes,
It was a nice wedding.
it was.
Did you ask me to marry you?
Yes.
After I begged and begged and begged and begged.
She would not give it a rest. Okay? It's like I wanted to wait at least 24 hours so it might seem like it was my idea, but yeah, no.
He just wanted it to be
There was
his
no
idea.
opportunity. She was relentless.
Well, in the end, I was surprised that you proposed just because of how much you weren't proposing when it was my idea. So I'm like, okay, he's just not going to propose for a long time. And then you did. So it was almost like a surprise.
It was almost surprising.
Almost surprising.
And it almost wasn't emasculating.
I am really enjoying this coffee. Dude, you did such a good job making it. I love you. Thank you for always making me such yummy coffee. All right. Assumption number 6. We don't brush our teeth. Now, I can tell you right here and now that I definitely brush my teeth every single day. I don't know how true that is for you. So, like, you'll have to answer your part of that question.
Okay. Yeah, I don't brush my teeth.
Oh my goodness. People assume that I don't brush my teeth because my teeth are not like white. They're more of a yellow, if anybody really wanted to know that. But that's simply because I don't use chemicals on my teeth. I don't use whitening things. Teeth are actually supposed to be yellow. Little known fact.
Did you know that teeth are bones? And did you know that bones are not white? Bones become white when they're bleached by the sunlight. When you find a carcass out in the desert, it's the bones have been bleached. That's why they're so white, but they're not naturally white.
So, in short, everybody complains about my teeth and assumes I don't brush them, but I do brush mine all the time. Nobody complains about Luke's teeth, but he doesn't brush his.
Correct.
I'm the only one that complains about your teeth.
Correct.
All right. I'm sorry. Number 7. Luke forces happiness. Luke, I think you're going to have to be the one to answer this.
Boy, this podcast is nothing but questions for me to answer.
Well, I can answer it. Do you want to hear what I think about it? I think that sometimes you do force happiness, and other times you fake force happiness. I think there's some of both mixed in there. I think you just have a much more monotone personality, and like you hold your excitement within, which I know other people that do that too. You're just not like all out there with their emotions. I am all out there with my emotions, right? You're not. You're the opposite. So it looks like you have to force happiness when in reality, you're happy on the inside.
Yes. I keep my happiness contained within. Prevent it from rearing its ugly head.
Can you be serious?
I'm trying to be serious.
Are you a happy guy?
Sometimes, yes.
Why only sometimes?
Look around you. We're not in a mansion and we don't have free Wi-Fi.
Is it because you're married to me?
No.
So, is being married to me a happy part of your life?
Yes.
It is? Was I forcing you to say that? I just want this to go on record.
I just want this to go on record so you can play it back a bunch of times. Instead of asking me over and over and over again.
We'll put it on record. You haven't done it yet.
No, you're not forcing me. Yes, I find happiness in you.
Aw, thanks. You're happy when you're drinking coffee, right?
If it's good coffee.
Are you drinking good coffee right now?
No.
What? Why is it not good?
Because it has chocolate and milk in it.
That makes it not good? That makes it like the best thing ever. What? You have to have chocolate and maple syrup and milk of some sort in your coffee to make it drinkable.
Nope.
It's the only thing that makes coffee drinkable. It makes it delicious.
It makes it chocolate milk with espresso.
No. How do you like your coffee?
In a mug.
You're drinking your latte in a mug.
Uh-huh. It's a latte, it's not coffee.
So how do you like your coffee?
In a mug.
Just coffee.
Yes. With hot water.
No cream, sugar.
I like my coffee roasted and ground up with hot water poured through. And then I drink that hot water that now has the flavor of coffee. That is coffee.
Like, will you only make it yourself or will you drink it from like other places? Like, how about Keurig coffee that comes from a K-cup?
No.
Oh, is that called coffee or what would you call
No,
it?
that is a imposter. It's a facsimile of coffee. It's brown liquid that comes out of the Keurig.
We used to have a Keurig,
Yeah.
but we don't anymore. So
Correct.
I guess there is that. How about church coffee?
Nope.
How about coffee at somebody else's house? Will you drink it to be polite?
It depends on how bad it is. I won't drink church coffee.
You drink coffee when we go to my mother's house out of her Keurig.
Yeah, I'm being polite.
We did get her a French press though, so we just make French press every time we go over now. We make sure she's always stocked up on good coffee. All right, this is the last one. The last assumption about us is that we are millennials.
I might be. I don't know. I don't check. I don't keep up with the latest generational trends.
You would be considered a millennial. Millennials from like 1987 or something. No, wait, I gotta think. Or before that. It's like the 80s up until 96. And you were born in the earlier 90s. So that makes you a millennial. I was not born between those years, so I am not a millennial. I would be considered Gen Z. I never wanted to be. I always wanted to be a millennial because I'm like, I'm not a Gen Z. Those are like the new people. Like, I want to be a millennial because it sounds a lot cooler. But now that everybody is like, ew, you're a millennial, I think it's funny that I'm not. I was born in the latter part of the 90s. Right after the millennials ended. So I could be a young millennial or an old Gen Z. I suppose I could be either, but technically I'm not a millennial. How do you feel, Luke, being married to a Gen Zer? Considering that you are a fairly older millennial.
The way you say fairly older millennial, I find slightly demeaning.
Why is
Because
that?
I am on the closer side of the millennial spectrum.
Like, you're not a young millennial, though. Well, like, I'm
No
not saying you're old.
No millennial is young at this point in time.
But on the scale of millennial, I guess you're a middle-aged millennial. I'm not saying you're middle-aged. You're a middle-millennial. Yeah. But how does that feel being married to a Gen Zer? They're like the new people. It's so weird to me thinking about people that were born in the 2000s. Like 2001, my brother was born in somewhere around that year, and he's in his 20s. That's so weird to me because I still think of, oh, you were born in like 2001, you must be like, what, 15? It's weird. Time goes fast.
Sure does.
Anyways, I haven't heard yet.
About what?
How do you feel about it? Being married to a Gen Zer.
It doesn't bother me.
No?
No. I think the whole millennial Gen Z thing, having intergenerational marriage and all that, I think it's just a way to segregate people. But it doesn't really change anything.
Do you think it's weird when two people are married? Like, not that part's not weird when you're married. So, do you think it's weird when you're married when there is a larger age gap, like larger than our age gap?
Only when you're young.
Only when you're young.
Once you hit about 40 or 50, nobody cares anymore.
No?
No?
So, our age gap is 6 years. Do you think that's weird at all?
No.
How about if we were like 12 years apart, so double our age gap? Would that be weird?
That would be weird.
Until we were like 40 and 50, then it wouldn't be weird anymore?
Correct.
Correct. Okay.
If you're like 60 and I was 72, all of a sudden people aren't batting their eyes as much. They're like, oh, you're just old.
I think that, like, a lot of people say it can be challenging and weird when you have, like, a 10 or more year age gap, just because you're, like, in two different friend age groups. So, like, if one of you is 20 and one is 30, you're in, like, two different stages of life, and your friends are in two different stages of life. But that never applied to us, really, because we just
Didn't
didn't
have friends.
friends.
The people I would hang out with when I was in my 20s were in their 50s, so.
Same. I've always been the same way. Like, I've always gotten on much better with adults. Like, I mean, like, I'm an adult now, obviously, but as a kid, I got along better with adults than people my own age. And now as an adult, I get on better with people that are, like, my parents' age. Would you say you've been the same way?
I could say that, yes. I think we're out of time.
Well, you know what? I'm out of coffee, so I think that's going to draw us to an end. Thank you, everybody, for listening to our podcast today on the Hyper Coffee Wife podcast. We're going to try to do this a lot more regularly. We got to hype Luke up. Was this exciting? Was it fun?
Oh, yes.
You can tell how excited he is, right?
I'm ecstatic.
That's the face of excitement. Did you have fun?
I did.
That's good. I had so much fun. I always have so much fun doing this. So, thank you guys for listening, and join us again next time.
Yes.